Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. So I'm back at the main base and I've requested 100 mining drills to be delivered to me. I've gotten 50 so far. Looks like more are on the way. Before we head back to finish our mining outpost, I'd like to set up a little train to bring science packs back from the rocket base to our main base. And again, this is only temporary until we have a dedicated science area somewhere else, but we have science packs over here and they're not doing as much good sitting there, so I'm just going to use my own personal train station here to do this. So I'll put some provider chests here. I want these to unload quickly, so I'm going to use 4 stack inserters. I'm using filter stack inserters because if these are regular stack inserters, then when my train comes, it's going to start taking all the fuel out. I don't want that to happen. So we'll filter these for space science packs only. Okay, and then we'll get 1 locomotive. Do I have a locomotive with me? I don't think so. Okay. Alright, so let's get 1 locomotive and 1 cargo wagon. And I'll just put it down here for now to get it deployed. Alright, and I guess we'll just make it white since that's the color of space science packs. And the cargo wagon is... Alright, cargo wagon is here. I don't want it to get barrels. Okay, so we're going to set this up to go to rocket, space science. And I'm going to set up 2 conditions. One would be 5 seconds of inactivity, which means that there's no more science packs to be added. And I don't want it to bother leaving unless it's got at least 1,000 science packs. Okay, so it'll wait until it has 1,000 science packs and no more is being inserted before it comes back to the main base. Okay, and then for now it's going to come back to main engineering until it's empty. Okay, so let's send it on its way. We'll power this back up again. And then I'd like to wait here a few moments until it comes back just to make sure that everything is working properly. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Of course, that's going to bring everything else to a halt until it's done, but that's all right. Actually, we can watch it in action. Okay, yeah, so it's loading up. Just take a minute or so. Okay, there's 1,000, 5 seconds, and it's coming back. We're up to 68 heat pipes, so another 4 or 5 episodes and I'll be able to finish the nuclear power. It'll be good once we get a steel outpost set up. Oh, no. Okay, so this is... Alright, so this is bad. Alright, so I have an idea here. What we can do. All right, so I'm gonna tell this station to read stopped train. Okay, so if you hover over the train, we can see that this train ID is 144. That's the name of the train. my train, for example, is 79. This train is 22. So every train should have a unique ID. This one is 144, and it's going to go out on the signal T. So if I hover over here, why don't I see it? I'll put, oh, because it's manual. That's why. Let me just do this so that I just want it to wait here for a moment. All right, main engineering. It has to be in automatic mode for it to read. Okay, so now you can see that we have a signal that's T with a quantity of 144. So I'm going to set this fuel so that it only works if T is not equal to 144. All right, so when my train comes, I should get fuel. But when that train comes, it should not insert fuel. Speaking of fuel, let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of this. There we go. Okay, good. All right, so now we can see we have 600 science packs currently in the network. And then our research is continuing, so that's good. Now I can remove this circuit condition so it can go on its way, and we can go on our way as well. So let's head back to our coal outpost and get that taken care of. And now that science train should just go back to the rocket station and sit there and wait until it gets more science packs. All right. I've got 100 mining drills. I think that, yeah, that'll be more than enough. At least for the coal it will be. Okay, so we'll figure out where the edge of the patch is, and it looks like this is the... Yeah, I want one more here. I try to only put the drills where they're actually directly on top of something. Otherwise, they tend to just get mined out very quickly. Okay. Honestly, I think this is going to be more than enough. This will last for a very long time. Now the other, I suppose the other valid way to set this up would be just to cover the entire patch with mining drills when you set it up the first time. And that way you don't have to come back and put down more drills and relocate. So why don't we, let's see, how many do I have left? I've got 53 left. So what's 53 divided by 4? 10, about 14. So let's just go ahead and use up the rest of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, so we can get 2 more rows of 14. I think. Yep, and I've got one more. We'll put that one right there. There we go. So that way it'll, we'll be able to go for a longer period of time before we have to come back and mess around with this outpost. The disadvantage is only that we're going to be using more electricity than we would need to otherwise, but it's not a big deal. Okay, and then we'll do a balancer right here. I think we want 4, or is it 3? Yeah, 3. And it seems like my neighbor's dog has decided to park right outside my window and engage in some dialogue. It's very pleasant. I do love dogs, I just don't like other people's dogs. Okay. Oh, if I just run with this, yeah. If I just run with it, they get misaligned. I'm not quite sure why that happens. It's not completely necessary, obviously, to have all your power poles perfectly lined up like this. But I like to do it. Just makes me feel good when I look at it. And when you do this, looks really nice. Okay, so I think coal is ready to go. So let's power it up. All right. We should definitely add a radar so we can see what's going on here. I will put a laser turret there and a laser turret there to protect that area. And then I suppose we'll do one there and then one on this side. Actually, let's do two. We'll do another one here and another one up here. You know, now 3 turrets is not really designed to hold off massive attacks. It's really just to prevent nuisance attacks and give us some warning if something more substantial is on its way. Okay, and then once this radar does its thing, I'm sure we'll have to come down here before too long to clear some biters out. But actually, in the meantime, we can throw down a bunch of radar. If you want to scan an area quickly, you can put multiple radar in the same place. Is the plural of radar or radars? I'm not sure. I want to say radar. But anyway, you can put down multiple of those machines, and it'll scan the region much faster since each one is doing its own thing. But it looks like even with that, it's not going to be fast enough to like reveal this area right away, so I'm not going to bother with that for now. Alright, let's see how we're doing on power. We have plenty of power. Okay, and our balance loader is working correctly, it seems. Okay, so we're done here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave one of my turrets here. So that way when enemy bases are revealed by the radar, this can do its thing automatically. And in fact, I'm going to spend some time to make some more artillery turrets. And I can do that when we set up new outposts. We can just set up 1 or 2 artillery turrets. And that way, as the area gets revealed, we don't have to come back personally to take out biter bases. And now that we have laser turrets, I don't have to worry about the turrets running out of ammo and leaving everything defenseless. So I think this will work out well. Okay, so we've got our coal set up. We are out of science packs now, as you can see. So let's go do another rocket launch. So we can keep that going. I've got 117 heat pipes now. Oh, we have to go and fix that one inserter. One of the reactors is inserting as much fuel as it wants, and it's not really fair to the other reactors to let him do that. So let's go fix that, and we'll put down the heat pipes that we have. And mining productivity 18 ought to be done soon. Okay. There's another mod that I want to try called Auto Research or Auto Science. One of those two. I think it's Auto Research. I didn't install it yet because I want to test it out first, but I'd like to set that up so that once one level of productivity finishes, it'll just automatically start the next one. Right? We're trying to automate as much as we can, so if we can automate selecting and starting research, that's a good thing for us. Okay, so we should be able to just put a green signal on that, copy paste, yeah, and then we're going to take these extra fuel cells out. And I'll put them there in that buffer chest. Okay. So our steam is at 65%. I'm not sure what the total is, but it's quite a lot. Okay, so let's put in some additional heat pipes, and I'm going to prioritize those. Right, so at least this way, let's make sure that all of our boilers are hooked up first, and then whatever I have left over, we'll use to fill out the rest of this as much as we can. Okay. So that's that. All right, and then we can now take coal outpost off of our to-do list. So the next one we had are a wall in the main base and a copper outpost. Honestly, I don't think we need a copper outpost. And I don't really feel a need to wall in the main base right now either. We have basically 0 threats on the radar, so I'm not going to do that either. I think, I mean, the next step in the evolution of the base here is going to be to start working up towards massive science production. Okay, we've got rockets. The rocket base is set up, right? Rocket fuel, all the rocket components, and the rocket base itself. So we're pretty much ready to go there. Rocket fuel will need to be expanded, but we don't need to do that right now. So the next step would be to start building up our primary infrastructure. And I think the next logical thing to do would be to set up off-site smelting. And we can start with iron. And then I think we'll do iron and then steel and then copper. Reason for that is that then we can bring some extra steel to the base to help take care of some of the shortages that we're having for making the nuclear parts and so forth. We just had an attack, but I didn't see where that was. All right, so let's go back to the main base, and we'll start to lay out some plans for the smelting. And we'll set up a blueprint there that we can use once we decide where it's all going to go. I wanted to check on our uranium supply. Yeah, we've got 1,000. Yeah, no problems with uranium. We're not going to run out anytime soon. Speaking of that, though, one of these days, I'd like to try this uranium fuel or nuclear fuel. Gives you 250% acceleration. Takes 1 uranium and 1 rocket fuel. Oh, 1.21 gigajoules. Nice. Just like, kind of like in Back to the Future. 1.21 gigawatts. That's cool. Yeah, so I might do that just for my personal train. Okay, so let's get some electric mining drills. Or electric furnaces, I mean. Sorry. I'll request 100. And we'll come over here and we'll lay something out. Now this this blueprint, I think I've already saved. I think I've already saved that in my blueprint book. Yeah, I did. So it's no problem if we tear this up. But I am going to leave the... I'm going to leave these beacons in place. And let me rename this to ZZZ. Well, ZZZ is good enough. That way when we go to add stations to our trains, it's way down on the bottom of the list, and we don't see this goofy name in the middle of the list and wonder what it is. Okay, did I get my furnaces yet? No. Probably because I'm not in the network. Alright, I know I'm making furnaces. Yeah, and they're in the network too, so we'll just have to wait a moment for them to arrive. I don't need steel furnaces any longer. I don't need to hold on to these mining drills, but you know what? I'll put them in. I'll put them in a buffer chest, so I don't have to wait when we do want them. Those steam turbines and heat exchangers are no longer needed. I do want to make more artillery turrets, but I'll do that off camera. Okay. Furnaces. Alright. The furnaces do not seem to be arriving. Now they are. I mean, that's all in the same network, right? So I don't know what the holdup is. Alright, well I think I've got enough to get started. So, bot-based smelting is pretty similar to what we've already set up for the other areas. Okay. See, now this is where I want to disable roboports, because I only want to ghost things out. I don't necessarily want to build them. Okay. Yeah, and let's now I think, yeah, unfortunately this is within range of this other robot network. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this up and I'm going to move it so that we're completely out of range. So that way I can ghost things out. Otherwise the construction robots are going to come and start placing stuff over here on the right. Yeah, I really wanted my bots to get those. Oh well. Okay, so we'll disable my roboports. And then, yeah, we can put this over here. And we can do our work. Actually, I think I will go ahead and lay that much down. At least until we get it blueprinted. Okay, so this will be a full row of beacons. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's ghost out a full row of beacons. And this will be a full row. Same here. And same here. Okay, and those are going to have speed 3 modules. So actually, let's go ahead and put the modules in so that those are included as part of our blueprint. Otherwise, we'll have to go back and do it again later. Okay, so let's take those out. All right, and then I can grab the blueprint with the modules, and then we'll go ahead and ghost these out. And again, what I'm doing here is I'm going to set up like one side of a mining setup that we can blueprint and then use it to set up in its final location. Okay, so we're going to have that. We're going to have roboports there. And then we'll start placing our furnaces. All right, so this roboport coverage ends right here. Right? Yeah. So this would be where one furnace goes. That's going to have productivity modules, of course. And then we'll put another one there. That will also have productivity modules. And then again, I would like to have the chests being shared. So we'll do a single requester there and a single provider right there. The provider we can limit to 1 stack. And the requester, in this case, this is going to be for iron. So we'll request 100. Okay, and then at the speeds that this is going to work at, I think we're going to want to use stack inserters. Okay, and then we can do power there and a light there. And the nice thing about sharing chests like this, you know, you could just put a requester and a provider on every single one. This obviously is more efficient with materials. And it also gives us half the number of pickup and drop-off points for the robots to have to deal with. Okay. So then we can copy that like this, and this should give us 30 per side, just like we had with the other stuff. Right, and then yeah, an additional one is not going to cover it. Okay. So that's one side. And then the next one is going to be directly above, but we're going to remove some of the machines. So we're going to remove these. And we're going to remove these. Okay, and then another one here. And then we're going to remove 2 more. Okay, and if I've done this right, that should be 30. Yep. Okay, and then this will be duplicated on the other side. Now in this case, we're going to have one rail picking up and one dropping off. Okay, so we're going to need, and I wonder if we can put them this close together. I think we might be able to. Let's try that. going to be like this, right? So one can be bringing ore in, and the other one can be taking ore out. I think it would be better if the chests were here in the center. I wonder how that would look. What if I did that? Yeah, let's try something here. If, for example, let's say we're emptying ore there into provider chests. Not there, though. All right, and then we would have lights there. Let's pick this one up. Okay. Well, I just found a problem with this method. I have to pick things up myself. That's okay. All right, and then if we have... Wait, is this unloading? Yeah, that's unloading. So this is going to be ore, right? And then we would have requester chests like that. And then the requester chests would be loading into the train. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and I'm just going to move these lights to put them closer to the center. Okay, now if we do this, I think we can move this whole thing down a few tiles. So let's copy all of this. And then we're going to pick it all up. And I'm also going to pick up that. All right, I'm going to turn on my bots for a minute. And I'm going to try to get just close enough that it can pick that up and not construct all that other stuff that I have ghosted. Yeah, looks like I was successful. Okay. And then we put this back down. Of course, now I could be slightly misaligned here. That RoboPort in the middle needs to be right here. I guess it doesn't matter if I do it there or do it there, right? Yeah, we'll do it here. Okay. Now I think the only thing that we're missing is power, because I don't think we're getting power all the way up here. Also, these RoboPorts are not getting power. Or not RoboPorts, the beacons are not getting power. So let's extend our power poles a bit for that. Is this the right spot? Yeah. There we go. And then these need to be powered up here as well. And this is more power poles than we need, but, you know, like I did before. I just like kind of maintaining those patterns just for my own pleasure. Okay, that looks good. And then we'll need at least one power pole that's going to be misaligned by one tile. Is it? Yeah. Dang it. What if we do that? That's ugly. Ah, here we go. Okay, I can live with that. There. So that's it. This is our smelting production unit. Okay, so we got one train in, one train out. This will be on both sides. In fact, we can set that up right now. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to line up these roboports as best I can. I've got a problem here with these pipes. Let's get these oil pipes out of the way. There we go. All right. There. And then that's going to go there. Now, are we getting any power down here? I don't think so. So we'll need to... Yeah, here the location of the poles a little bit different. Oh well. I think I'm just going to have to live with that slight misalignment there. But if I'm going to do that, we should at least have the same misalignment on both sides. There. Okay. So that's it. That is 1 unit of smelting. That's going to give us 60 furnaces. And we'll repeat that as many times as we need to. So we'll call this a smelting module. And we'll add this to the blue. Did I save that? No, I didn't. Okay, let's try that again. Smelting module, create blueprint. There we go. Okay. Okay, so in the next episode, we'll start to lay this out, and we'll find a good area to put our first smelting area, and we'll figure out how many of these units we need, and we'll get to work with the construction. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.